Hi, my friends. I am P Mangal, Chairman and founder of Lagnam Spintex Limited.
There is no age limit for entrepreneurship. This episode is proof that no matter how old you are, the door to entrepreneurship is always open. Your host Akshay Dutt is talking with P Mangal, the founder of the publicly listed textile company Lagnam Spintex. P Mangal spent his entire career in the textile industry, and after he retired, he decided to start his own venture instead of living a quiet, peaceful retired life. This conversation is a peek into the evolution of businesses in India since the 70s and is proof of how grit can make you succeed no matter what your starting point is. Listen on, and if you like such insightful conversations with disruptive startup founders, then do subscribe to the Founder Thesis podcast on any audio streaming app.
I was born in Rajasthan in a small town called Biawar, which is close to Ajmer, 3rd of October 1948. And I was born in a very middle class family, let me tell you. So I did my schooling and I did my graduation. Up to graduation, I was in Baroda. After passing my graduation, I was thinking to do some higher studies. But let me tell you that, as I mentioned, that I come from a very middle class family. My family circumstances were forcing that I should do whatever after a graduate, a normal person will do.
Basically start earning a salary.
Basically start earning a salary for the livelihood. But somewhere or other, my mind was not ready for it. I thought that I will do my chartered accountancy course because at that time, I did my graduation in commerce. So I thought that chartered accountant would be a very good professional career for me. So I was for some time in a dilemma what to do, what not to do. On the one hand, my family compulsion were there. On the other hand, my mind was very strong that no, I can't become a clerk in the life. And just by doing BCom, there was nothing but to pass the life as a clerk. It was very clear. And right from the beginning, I was an ambitious man, let me tell you. So my ambition pushed me to leave the Baroda and go to Jaipur from where I did my CA. Let me tell you, it was very difficult to move to Baroda without doing any resources with you. When I left Baroda, very frankly, this is 1969, I was just having 72 rupees in my pocket. And I left my hometown just to pursue the further studies. Now, so I did my CA from Udaipur, but the whole period of my CA education was very tough. And at many times, I did some part-time job also, sometimes books writing also, all sort of things. But my mind was very clear that I have to do my education and have to have the CA qualification to move forward in my life. At some occasions, let me admit very clearly, at some occasions, the situation came where I thought, yeah, I can't do it now. Let me leave it. And okay, whatever is in your destiny, you will do that. So at one or two occasions, I thought to leave my CA career. But again, when I left home, going to my office, that I will tell my boss today for I resigned from my articleship. But then still I left home with this mind. But when I reached office, my mind changed again. You have to do something. So there was always a fight between the situation in which you are and your mental determination or mental thought or your ambition which you are carrying.
Which year did you qualify?
I qualified in 1973 because at that time the CA was course of about 4 years or something. So I did my CA in November 1973. And after doing my CA, I did a job for some engineering industries from about 1979. After that, I was always based at Delhi for a long time. So I would say my life surrounded around Baroda and Delhi. So I was in Delhi from 73 to 79 and 80. In 1980, I joined Rajasthan Spinning, known as now RFWM Limited, in textile. Again, based at their corporate office, reporting to their chairman, Mr. Alan Jujunwala, who is the founder of the group. And then it was really a tough time coming from an engineering company and working for a company. And so it was a big mismatch for me. Then Mr. Jujunwala was a very demanding promoter. So he wants everything today, nothing tomorrow. And he wants everything right and correct. So I worked for sitting in my office, understanding what is the textile, what is the ring frame, what is the spindles, and working more MI shade, sitting up to 2 o'clock in the night alone in the office and working on what is textile.
You were in the accounts department then, I'm assuming?
No, I joined as the financial controller of the company. let me check, at that time in 1918. So the financial controller is a very, very responsible and senior position. But I was not knowing anything about textile. I was even not knowing what is a yarn. And Mr. Jinwala was just opposite to it. He was very methodical, very thorough, and very perfect man in planning and management. It took me around 6 months to work like this, day and night, working alone in the office, sitting what is what is what. Because I do not want that when I go to the plants should feel that a corporate person knows nothing about it. That's very important. And I did my role very, very successfully. But then I was in the corporate functioning only. So I wanted to have some experience of the on-site experience, plant site, shop floor experience. But my chairman was so, impressed with me that he didn't allow me to go to the plant. And then I thought to change my job, have some shop floor experience and the practical experience. Because I did my CA, I did 3-4 years the job of the financial controller very well. So I wanted that to have some shop floor knowledge. So then I joined one of the textile mills, which was one of the largest from the size in Rajasthan again, but not successful mills. And I worked there for again 6-7 years. And then I joined the JCT Limited as the chief executive. So for 6 years, I was based at Kishangarh, where this Adit Mills was located. And in 1989, I joined JCT Limited as the chief executive of their overall textile operations. And there we were employing about 10,000 workers under one roof. The JCT Limited was a composite mill. So we were from yarn to fabric, employing 10,000 workers just at our Fagwada unit. Another 2,000, 3,000, they were at the Ganganagar unit, which was again under my control. And we were also having a unit at Tarapur. So in total, if you see, we were making about 1 crore meter, 10 million meter fabric per month, which is a very, very big volume. Let me tell you, 10 million meter a month at their 3 locations was really big job. But I think my training at RSW was really remarkable. And I was very well looked after and put the JCP Limited as a growth path.
How did you get into a CEO kind of a role from being finance specialist? Like you were specializing in finance. So
now again, that is a very, very long but very interesting story. What happened that in about 76, and I joined this hand tools company, Dovide Tools. So when I joined this hand tools company, I was interviewed by the company's founder chairman, and you must have heard about Mr. D.P. Mandalia, who was the left and right hand both of Mr. J.D. Birla. And I would say at that time, in 75, 76, when people were not knowing the spelling of aeroplane, let me tell you, he was having a personal plane by Birla and he was looking after all the total clone of Birlas. And he was just like, people used to treat him like equivalent to more or less like J.D. Birla, second to the J.D. So he interviewed me and they are having a base at Delhi also. So Mr. Mandalia appointed me as the executive secretary for the Delhi office, which was not his main headquarters. His headquarters were Bombay, but he used to travel. So he told me, you are appointed as my executive assistant for my Delhi office, and you will review the reports of all the various plants coming to me like Grasim, Hindalco. He was the chief of all these plant villas, Kesharam, Cement, whatever you name. So he says that my Delhi office also used to get these reports. So you will work as an executive assistant to me for my Delhi office. And maybe that you are also traveling sometime with me. The traveling with Mr. Mandalia in his personal aircraft, this I am talking of 1976. He then called me again after 15 days. And he told me, Mangal, my son had a hand tools plant at Sonipa for German collaboration and blah, blah, blah. And Mr. J.D. Birla can get many good CA and good people like you. But my son Bhagwati is a small industry, not known. So he can't get the good people. So better you go and join the Sonipat factory with my son. I was really shocked that I have been dropped down from sky to the land that... So he said, no, join my son. Bhagwati, and you go and meet him and he will tell you what to do. I was very enthusiastic. So I told him, sir, I did make CA. So what I will do in the factory of hand tools factory with your son? The logistic was very strong. He talked to me in the Marwari language, but the gist was, he told me, have you passed CA or not? I said, yes, sir, I passed CA. So that means you learned accounting. I said, yes, sir. So he said, now tell me, you want to become a finance manager of a company or you want to become a CEO of a company? you want to become a finance manager, then okay, you have a different career. But if you want to become a CEO of a company, then you have done chartered account finance. So now you know, you learn production, you learn quality control, and you go and work in my factory and learn what is the production, what is the quality control, what is blah, blah. I thought over after going home, makes a lot of sense what he is saying. But of course, initially I would have a very tough life. That was the turning point of my life. I was thinking that finance manager is, big thing and of a big corporate CA to become a finance manager. But I never thought to become a CEO during that period of my working with him for about 6 years. So the 8 o'clock was time to reach at Sonipat. We were 5, 6 senior people were, traveling by a pool car, and 6:30 the driver will pick up from my home, and 8 o'clock we have to. But then my instinct of finance was still there. So what I used to do that in the evening, after completing my factory duties, I will come to their head office, which was in Sundarnagar, and will associate with my finance team, my accounts team, my purchase team. So I was doing actually very hard work, leaving at 6:30 in the morning, going to factory, coming back to the office at my own. At my own means my duty was over. We were coming by car again to our office. So then I will work again in office for 2, 3 hours. So 6:30 to 9:30 was my duty to work during that period. So then when I joined this Rajasthan Spinning, as I told you, in 1980, I joined the Rajasthan Spinning from this, my hand tools job. And 83, again, I wanted to have some textile. Then I want to become expert of textile. Because I learned for 3, 4 years with Mr. Junjunwala, RSW, as a furniture controller. So then after that, I joined this Aditya Mills Limited at Kishangarh, which was having about 50,000 spindles. At the single occasion, that was largest spinning plant in Rajasthan, but they were not performing very well. So I thought, okay, no problem. Let me join and let me see what best I can do for per unit. And I worked there for 6, 7 years and then joined JCT Limited in 89 and worked there for 4, 5 years. Now, JCT was a platform when I was the CEO of the company, responsible for the overall profitability. So the marketing, purchase, technology, all this was my forte. So the JCT has really given me the opportunity to become a overall CEO for any company, textile I'm talking. So I was with the JCT. Later on, again, LNG Virula Group approached me and I joined them back in 1995 as a president and CEO, and then finally as the executive director of the company. So I worked from 1995 to 2009. A long time, again with the RSW Limited, and I retired there as an executive director in the end of 2009. So this is my long journey of my qualifying CA and working for the tools, textile and all this. So now I got retired sometime in the end of 2009 as a director of the company with, I would say, very vast experience. So after getting retirement, then again I was in a fix what to do. Either to do some consulting or join some other company or do something for Europe. So I was for 62 years at that. I got retired in 2009 and then struggling for my career, what to do, because I was full of energy at that. So I thought what to do. Then I was just working over the various options. And I thought that this consulting and all this is not something great. And I have a good control on the operations and all those things. So I thought to do something manufacturing. I then studied the textile, again, basically the spinning and all this textile. I also did some medical application, again, basic textile or the road application, geotextile, this textile. So a lot of other textiles also I explore, medical textile.
Medical textile would be like bandages and stuff like that.
Yes. So, a lot of things. And the geotextile is like, and you're aware that in the Europe and all the developed countries, when they make the road, below the road, they put a sheet of the polyester fibers. Now in India also we have started doing it, but at that time this was very costly. So in India this was not there. So I only thought that all our the government should. So then I zeroed down ultimately that we have maximum experience in the spinning industry. So let us do something related to the spinning. But at the age of 1952, putting all the money, whatever you earn in your life, and also of your family money. So I thought that let me talk. I have two sons now. Let us come little bit on that. One is Shubh Mangal, he is my elder son, and one is Anand Mangal, who is my younger son. So the Shubh Mangal did a computer science from USA and is a master's in international finance from UK. And at the time he was working with ICICI Bank, the corporate banking based at Delhi. So Anand was in the corporate banking and Shubh was in the IT consulting business with all his clients. USA. So I thought that ship line is entirely different. So I talked to Anand that Anand, this is what it is. So if you are ready to join me, then I will do some textile manufacturing activities. And if you want to continue in your ICICI banking business, then I will also do my something consulting and keep myself busy and have a good life. So he thought over for a few days and then he said, no, I can join you in your manufacturing activity. I said, look, you have to shift that Baroda because I, identify Baroda. I also export Jaipur, Ahmedabad, number of places. But then I concluded that no, Baroda is the right place for us. Even after leaving my schooling and college education, since I was working with Baroda Group for a long time, I was very frequently traveling to Rajasthan to, plants located at Baroda, the 6-7 plants they have. So I was traveling every month to this plant. So I was somewhere or other more comfortable with the Rajasthan putting the plant in that. So he said, no problem. I will shift with you to Baroda. And we formed this Lagnam Spintex Private Limited in June 2010, having registered office at Baroda. And we formed this company and we moved to the bank and we worked for land and all that. And we moved to the bank in end of December 2010. And our first project of this company was for about 31 crores. We started with a very small because I know in textile, unless you have the sufficient working capital, you will be definitely a failure. So the textile man mantra, I learned that you have to have the good working capital. Because textile is very, very volatile and the cotton prices are seasonal, depend on many things. Unless you have the good money, you can't cover cotton at the time when you want to cover. And the time of season, because the cotton season starts from October to March. So if you have to have the good quality of cotton at the cheaper price, you have to have good working capital and good promoters cushion margin also, that you can buy the raw material at the correct time. And also sometimes what happened, the demand also fluctuates. So at that time, if you are not getting the money on time from your customer, still you have to ensure that you manage your cash flows in the company very well. In that aspect, I would say that textile is an industry where you have to have good liquidity, sufficient cushion. So you don't suffer with the market cycles, raw material cycles, customer cycles, demand cycles.
So this 31 crores would be a mix of what you will invest in plant, machinery, land plus working capital.
31 crore was the total project cost, including land and plant building, working capital margin only from the bank. So out of 31 crore, banks generally ask 30% from the promoters that you should bring 30% of your own. My contribution was about 9 crores out of 31 crore, and the balance 22 crores was a loan from the banks. This is what project report I made myself. So there was no need to hire any consultant and all this because I was in the corporate world for almost many decades. So we prepared the project report and I went to the State Bank of Bikaner in Jaipur because they were our lead bank also, our means RSMDM. So I first approached to the SPVJ for this funding of the loan. Okay, so we had the meeting and then finally the chief general manager was a lady at that time. So our meeting was fixed with her. So her first question was, Mr. Mangal, what is source of the 9 crore? I was knowing very well that her first question would be this. So on a small piece of paper, I wrote the detail of 9 crore from where I will be funding in the project, like from my superannuation, because my long service in Rajasthan spinning, there were the good retirement benefits for my superannuation, my leave encashment, my PF. And at the time, my elder son Sub was running his consulting company in Delhi. So I said, my son company is this, and so much promoters' contribution will come from this company, so much from my retirement benefit and all that. Now, in the meanwhile, the CGM interrupted and said, Mr. Jha, if the promoters is putting their 100% of his own money, his family money, then this is the best bet for us and we must support this project. Because when the promoters are putting everything, what do you want? Bank is very safe. So she asked me, when you want the sanction letter? I said, within a month if you give me. Well, no, we will give in 15 days, no problem. So sir, this is how my first venture that I started. And I would say I'm very happy and satisfied to say that in the very first year itself, we made taxable profit, which is really very difficult.
So I want to ask one or two questions here. What is the supply chain of the textile industry? Like you said, you decided to concentrate on the spinning part of it, right? So
Yeah.
where does spinning fall into the supply chain? Like from the cotton which grows in farm to what I buy from, let's say, if I buy a t-shirt. So what is the supply chain what are the steps in that?
No, the supply chain was that we were buying cotton, not from the farmers, but from the ginners. Because farmer is just, ginners is doing the cleaning and all this part. and then make the cotton in the bales form. So the cotton, we were buying the cotton, and then we were producing yarn and just selling cotton yarn. That's it.
And how does cotton get converted to yarn? What is the process?
So the process is that cotton comes to our plant.
So this cotton is like a fluffy white substance that comes.
Yes, there is just like white fluffy material, white fiber in a fluffy form, which in the ginning process is that cleaning is done and a bale form is prepared. So the first we open the cotton in the blow room, then we do the many operations to make it ready to make the yarn. So we take it to the carding machines, then we take it to the frame machines, then we get it in the sliver form. So from the fluffy form like a lump, it is then coming like a fiber form, a sliver form. और जिसको अपने बोलते हैं इसमें फोनी बोलते थे हिंदी में if you know, ये जब चरखा बनाते हैं तो फोनी होती है. So the fiber form in a sliver form we bring it and then put to the spinning where the yarn is there. It is I would say, I selected a simple process of making yarn by adopting. This is called, what we did is called open end processing, open end spinning machines. So our first plant, open end spinning machines.
So this yarn is basically dhaga, like it's a string.
Yarn is your dhaga. And this yarn is used by the loom people to make the fabric.
And that fabric is then further sold to a fashion house, a fashion company.
Yeah, fashion house.
Convert to a t-shirt.
So the yarn we were making at that time, the open end spinning, is primarily used for denim fabric, mainly for denim fabric, and our home textile like post and all this.
So is there a difference in the yarn made for a cotton t-shirt versus the yarn made for a denim fabric? What is the difference?
Yeah. Yes, I'm coming. So that yarn made for the denim is a little thicker yarn. So we call it a coats gown because denim is a very heavy fabric and t-shirt is very light fabric. So we started initially with the denim towels and upholstery, like the sofa covers and all these, the fabric made for this. So our yarn was slightly forced down, and gradually when we did the expansion later on, we are now making yarn, most of the yarn for the t-shirt and all this. That is a different technology to make yarn for t-shirt and all that. So that initially we adopted the open end spinning machines, where so like Alok and Wellspun were our major customer to start with when we put up this plant.
This choice you made of focusing on denim fabric, like denim yarn for denim and like coarse yarn.
Let's say open end.
Yeah, open end spinning. Was this responsible for you becoming profitable in the first year itself? Was it because of this choice that you made that you should focus on
No, I would say how we become profitable, why we become profitable. I will work for more than about 30 years in textile and more so with RFW. RFW, I always learned from my chairman, technology is the first thing. Now, our chairman, sorry, but to say he was such a simple man that he used to have ordinary Fiat car or ambassador. I am talking of that time. Okay. But in textile machine, whatever machine will come in world first in India, RSWM is the first company to have that machine. So what we meant, sir, during my long stay with that company, that the technology, you should never compromise on the technology. And technology can only always produce the best quality of yarn. And quality is important everywhere today. In any field you go, not in textile, anything. Quality has become more important now. So our success, and let me tell you, when we started this plant, we made the building for say about 4 machines. But since we were short of resources or the limited resources, we just put 2 machines initially. So we started with a very small operating level, and still we made profits because our quality was the best. The technology we selected was best in the world, not in India only, best in the world. So we always focus the best technology available in the world, whether it was 2012 when I put this open end plant with a very limited resource set, or today when we are embarking upon a big projects, and when we took our last project also in 2019 of the open end of the ring spinning yarn. The technology wise, I would say today there is nothing in the world which we have not put in our. Apart from this, I put my whole focus on the most automation, digitalization, and these things gives a lot of results, lot of management control tools in the today's time.
So like you have machines which have like IoT devices in it through which you get some real-time data.
I will just tell you today, my all senior technical team, all the management team, my all finance and MIS team can find out from their mobile phone that till right this time, how much kilo production we have made, how much power we have spent, which machine is running at what efficiency, which machine is running at low efficiency, why the efficiency of a particular machine at this point of time is low, what was my yesterday's efficiency, what is my today's right now efficiency. So we have a very strict and complete control on the operations.
And what was the top line first year? How much did you do? And then
Now the top line the first year was about 36.5 crores.
this was basically like selling to textile companies.
Yeah. Our main customer in the 12, 13 was which are again top of the line of Indian textile industry. Alok was at the time. Alok was doing fantastically well, and Alok was our very good customer. And then we expanded in 15, 16, and 16, 17. So what we did that we made building suitable for exploding the 4 machines, open end machine, which is the basic production machine or open end machines. First we put 2 machines, then in 15, 16 again 1 machine, and 16, 17 again 1 machine. So we expanded our capacity, just saying 15, 16 by 50% because the 2 machine, we put 1 more machine, and again in 16, 17 by 33%.
What was your top line by 17, 18? Like by that?
Top line by 17, 18 was for about 80, 85 crores, 80 to 85. So this project, the first phase of my expansion, I did in 5 years from 13 to 18. And our turnover jumped from 36 crores to about 84, 85 crores. And the biggest part is the export of open end yarn, which, earlier was very difficult to do the export of open end yarn. But we started export from the second year of our operation. And
Why was it difficult to do export?
let me tell you, open end is a technology where everybody in India is feel it is a waste spinning machine. That means whatever is the waste of textile processing and all that is all recycled and used in this machine. So that is what the open end spinning machine is known, let me tell you. So the concept of the people with this machine was, it is a waste spinning machine. But I never took this machine as a waste spinning machine. And we never use the kind of waste the people are talking of the waste. Never, single kilo. And that is why our quality was very good, our realization was very good, our OPM was very good, and we could make the taxable profit right from first year. Till now, we have never made the losses, except 1 year was a bad year, but still we were able to keep our nose above the water. That was the COVID and the pre-COVID US-China war, and the COVID start of March 20, where our plant was closed and under COVID. So 20 was, this is how we completed with our open end spinning first journey of my textile. So for 18, 19, then we thought that now we have done enough. We are at a good footing. Our reputation in the bank was very good. Our numbers were very good. Everything was absolutely okay. We were adopting the very conservative financing policy. As I told you that I always believe that for textile, you need a lot of funds. We were quite comfortable by end of 18, 17, 18.
You didn't take on any more debt, like just that initial debt only. That was it.
Initial debt. And then when we expanded in 15, 16, again we took the same amount of debt of 22, 23 crores. So the total debt we had for this, our open end division, let's say like this, was for about 47 crores. And our total loss was for about 62, 63 crores for this open end division. Now, so then in 18, 19, then we thought that let us do something more in textile. Since we are doing very well. And my bankers were also pushing that, Mr. Mangal, why don't you expand and all this, software. So by that time, I was 67 years. But again, let me tell you, it's full of energy, full of ambition, full of intelligence. And let me tell you again, at this point of time, I faced a lot of resistance from my friend, my family, not my son were both with me, but all my close family, my blood relation, that why you are doing very well, so you should be satisfied and give the baton to the next generation. So I said giving baton to the next generation is absolutely not a problem, but I want to be active. I can't be just have a retired life and all this kind of thing. So I want to be active. So, at that time, again, when we took the second, I would say the product expansion, like from open end spinning to the ring spinning. And the ring spinning project was very big. Although I started with a very small numbers of 25,000 bundles, but this was again hitting about 125 crores of US. So 125 crores for me was a big number. A person coming from retiring from a textile company and then pay up all those time, then again 18, 19. To put up a expansion of 125 crore. It was a definitely challenge for me, and my family was quite worried about it. I will be again going for a big expansion, so naturally the term loan and all that kind of things. So, but I decided, and Anand was with me, Shu was also with me. Papa, if you want to be actually and do it. No problem. So we made our plan of 125 crores expansion, and we proposed a term loan of 94 crores out of this. 75% to come from the term loan. And we were having about 9-10 crores out of our saving of past 4-5 years of working this plan. So we didn't use this saving either for dividend or for anything. I kept all the saving in the company, which can be used in the bad times or at the time of expansion. So the promoter never took any dividend, nothing except a nominal salaries, which also started after 2 years. For the first 2 years, promoter didn't draw even a token salary because I thought that let the company become strong first, not the promoter. So for the first 2 years or 2.5, exactly, I told the promoter took no money. So we embark on 135 crore plan. 94 crore we say in a term loan from banks. Bank will give. 9-10 crore I was having in my reserves in the company. And to balance about 24 crore rupees was short, and I tried here, there, but 24 crore was very big money. So the private equity also, this, that, everything I tried, but I couldn't meet the two end. Ultimately, then we went for public issue on the SME platform.
What is the SME platform? Just
The SME platform is a platform for the smaller companies where they have not the big track record, and for a small company with some without any side limitation, without any track record limitation, they can go for NSE listed company.
okay. And what is the turnover range of companies that list there? Like 100 crore onwards, or
No, nothing like.
okay, no restriction. Okay.
For example, let me tell you, so which is very important, that more than 99% of SME listed textile company are coming to market just for working capital gap or their corporate requirement, nothing else, without any bank loan, without any project. So most of the SME platform companies in a very guarded world is more or less promoter bringing their own funds in somewhere else. Now, what is the argumentation of working capital requirement? For part of my requirement, yes, I can do the public issue, but not for majorly for the argumentation of working capital. Anyway, there's no need we go into that details that what is objective of SME listed company. But my objective was very clear that we want funds from the market.
But is that market deep enough? Are there enough investors who invest in the SME market?
Yes, there are, but let me tell you, this is very, very difficult time we have gone through at the time. Because without knowing that what is the internal situation of this market, SME platform market, but they are mostly all very, very short-term investors. So what happens generally is that if your shares come, say, at 20 rupees at the time of listing, somewhere the share will go to all of a sudden 25, 30, 40 rupees. So the small investor will make short-term money and he will be out. So basically, as I told you, that in most of the, I'm not saying all, most of the SME issues, these are promoters.
Did you have to appoint an investment banker and then do a roadshow?
Everything we have to do. We have to apply to merchant banker. We have to allotment this, share, reserve. Every process is same what we did. The whole process is same, except that it is not listed on NSE main action and a SME small platform is listed. So the listing requirements are also little softer than the NSE main board, and it is comparatively easier also. But you have to file the prospectus has to be approved. You have to have a limited company, not the private limited, because then your shares are listed, and you have to have all formalities of God blessing the board and blah, blah, blah. So everything is like that. But in a compliance level, are not so strict, but more or less close to that. So we started this, and at that time when we were meeting the various merchant bankers and all that, our company was doing very well till 18, 19. Before we went to there, we was doing well later on also. But then our numbers were very strong. So I was not able to ready to place my shares less than 60 or 65 rupees. I made for my company that if I put my shares today, if I dilute my share, I should get about 60 to 65. But then the market forces things around, it didn't work.
And what would that value the company at?
So that finally, when the share was listed at 41 rupees, our issue price was 41 rupees. For the 10 rupees share were given at a premium of 31 rupees. So 41 rupees. And then 41 rupees pie was very good, let me tell you. Looking to
what does it translate to market cap? What was your company market cap or valuation?
The market cap at that time, 17, when the public issue came, at the 41 rupees, if you see, so the market cap was about 70, 75 crores. After public issue, the market cap at the issue price was about 68 to 70 crores.
This would probably be a like a price earning ratio of 5 to 7, somewhere.
Yeah, something like this, based on so many things. What is the book value and blah blah blah. So lot of homework we did. All this Bombay and Delhi merchant banker I visited because I was in the corporate world for 30 years, so I know all these things how to do because I did a lot of in my professional life. So then finally we could not make convince to our merchant banker for 60 or 65 rupees. And then my project was suffering that if I don't get the money, we got loan sanction from the SBI and PNB of 94 crore very easily, very conveniently, very comfortably. Because SPVJ then by the time became SBI, and our track record with the SPVJ and SBI was excellently good, excellently. So the SBI sanctioned us a loan of 50 crores just in a short period of a month and 2 months time, and then PNB also gave their sanction. So raising a loan of 94 crore was not a it was a very easy job for me. And but then raising this 24 crore rupee was really tough for me. That how to raise this one. I took it totally professionally, let me tell you. And I told in our all investors meet in the SME general issue, there is no investor meet and all this kind of thing because these are all planned and managed issue. But we had a lot of investor meet in Bombay, in Delhi, in Guwahati, lot of investor meet. And we told our shareholder that, look, this is the SME issue, which is backed by 94 crore rupees or loans sanctioned by financial institutions and banks. There was not probably a single, maybe one or two, might be there with some loans, but not a single with such a big 125 crore project with a 94 crore loan already sanctioned by the bank. And we are looking for 24 crore rupees from the public. However, with our prospectus, with our numbers, with everything, our issue got subscribed by 5.5 times. And at the time, the things were not moving. At that particular time, the market was bad, but still it was subscribed 5.5 times. And we were all very, very, very jubilant that, okay, we did it very successfully. And then what happened when the listing comes, that issue was oversubscribed by 5.5 times. Allotment was made by the stock exchange, basis of allotment, everything was done. So then whatever balance money we got extra was returned to the shareholders. And when the share got listed the first day, we all went to Bombay, which I used, enthusiasm that our share is subscribed 5.5 times. And for me personally, it was a big success. But when the market opened at 9:30, what I find that the shares which the people bought a week back at 41 rupees was under hammer or the low circuit. And there was huge selling. And that was the most disappointing day, I would say, I will remember in my life.
That was just like out of your control. It was just like market forces.
That was just out of my control. And as I told you that we are professionals, we are a very transparent management, we are a very compliant company. And under no situation we can do anything. Like in such cases, many people will do the market support. We can't do the market. I don't have money to market. That's very fact. Whatever money, we have not taken dividend from the company. So whatever money was there, that was in the company. And we were putting for this our ring spinning project. It was hammered down every day. The first day, out of 60 lakh shares, 9 lakh shares were sold. 9 lakhs. There were a lot of sellers more, but then there was cap and there was no buyer. So the first day, it was hammered down. Second day, third day. I would say just in a month's time, this 41 rupees price came to about 18 to 20 rupees. Just one month, the net worth, my net worth, the company's net worth got wiped out. When I asked our managers to the issue, what happened here? A week before, 5.5 times this was subscribed. And just on the day of listing, we are getting hammering regularly. And it has gone down to 18 rupees, just from 41 to 18 rupees. So he said that this is the peculiarity of SME platform. And in SME platform, all the promoters have to support when this kind of situation comes. I told him right in the beginning, this is not possible for us to do any kind of this activity. Very frankly, because we were wanting money for our project to buy the machines, not for the working capital. So it was not for the working capital management, but it was for the buying the machines and putting the project and starting the project in time. Anyhow, it was a very bad lesson for me that I sold my share at 41 rupees. I know the inherent strength of the company, but the people who bought my share, they lost a lot of money. That was really a very sad situation. I'm a professional. When I can put my whole life on money in this company, and if my shareholder loses, although I couldn't do anything except that I feel sorry about it. All shareholders lost views. So anyhow, this is the one time where, okay, so the money came to company and we started this project again, 25,500 spindles at 125 crore cost before the date of commissioning of the project, which we have committed to our shareholders. We committed to them that this project will come in production by 30th September 2019. And we started the commercial production from 31st July 2019. Now, let me tell you, sir, again, starting project before COD, or let me tell you, before starting project after COD, banks and all investors, everybody take very, very negatively. And banks, particularly from where you are taking the term loan, banks or financial institutions, they treat it as a big management failure if you delay your project. But we have done COD 2 months ahead of the schedule. So date of start of commercial production was 30th September, which we did on 31st of July. So the 1920 was the start when we started this project. And immediately after 2-3 months, when we started this project, there was a big, you might have read somewhere before, that there was a big US-China trade war. No, so US-China trade war made the cotton industry suffer maximum. Now, why? Why? Because China, India, US, they are number 1, 2, 3 in the global cotton production. So when we are one of the largest, or at that time, I think we were the first. Earlier, US was first, US, China, India, then the India was first at that time. So more or less neck to neck, let's say. So we were the 3 international cotton producing countries. India was largest at that time. So when the trade war started between the 2 countries, US and China, the cotton prices went down like anything.
Why is that?
Went down like anything because, what happened, the international cotton prices are controlled by this New York Cotton Exchange. At that time, generally we use the Indian cotton, but we also import cotton because, as I told you in the beginning, that we are a best quality producer of yarn, I would say. The clothing and imports also. Yarn prices cotton prices gone down. At that time, we imported US cotton. Before that, we imported Australian cotton. So whenever we find that in India, at the fake end of the cotton season, that is July, August, September, the quality of cotton is not good, so we import cotton like that. So in 1920, we imported cotton from USA, good quantity. And when we imported cotton, it was about 83 cents per pound, which after their trade war went down by 20-30%.
Is that because China was not purchasing, so there was oversupply? Or
Yes. So the New York exchange went down because the 80 cents price I'm saying is open New York exchange. Today also the world cotton prices are governed mainly by the New York Cotton Exchange. For the US-China trade war gave us very tough time. We lost heavily, let me tell you. We lost heavily in that trade war. In 1920, if you pick up any Indian cotton textile, cotton I'm using the word, cotton textile, their profit went down. Any mill in the country. So 1920, then in the March 20, there was lockdown to this COVID-19 first phase. And the central government did the lockdown from 26th of March. But the state government here, they announced on 22nd of March. For 22nd of March, our plant was totally closed. We were not allowed to come out of the houses. There was nobody in the factory except the security people. And we had to stop our factory all of a sudden in the night because government issued the orders that in the morning, 6 o'clock, everybody has to be out. So the 1920, when we put up this plant, new plant, China trade war, US and COVID. Except in 1920 also we did well, if we see from that out of it. Our turnover jumped in this year from 80 crores to 176 crores. Because the additional production which I got, 2021 again, the start was that. First 6 months was April was in fully locked down. But then second half of 2021 was very the market turned out very good. Everything was very good. We could recover our some losses in 2021. And 21-22, I would say, again, the best period for the company, for me, for all employees, for all stakeholders. And during this period, our shares, which went down to 6.5 rupees. That's the point of because 18 rupees was just after 1 month. So for 3 years, the situation remains. But after 2021, they started picking up again. And in 1920, despite of Corona and all that, we paid first maiden dividend of 5% in the company. And in the 21-22, we paid one interim dividend of 5%, and now the final dividend we have proposed for 5%. So 21-22, we are giving a dividend of 10% to our shareholders. And I really feel very happy that the shareholders are and will, I'm sure, unless something comes out like war or anything, surely get good returns from our company.
What is, are you still on the SME platform only?
No, not at all. After 2 years, you can switch over to the main platform. So, 30th September 20, we will switch over to the main platform. And after coming to the main platform, our shares performing well because then the real investor will come in. What is problem? The SME platform, that the market lot is minimum 3,000 shares. So if I have to buy, you have to buy the shares, minimum share buy can be 3,000, but the amount involved is large. And after coming to NSE main platform, there is no limitation, there is no restriction. I can buy one share also, I can buy 1 lakh share also. So the liquidity, visibility, compliance is much more on the NSE main. Now, let me tell you on the
So SME platform has this 3,000 shares restriction because they want to discourage retail investors. They want only
yeah,
more institutional investors or more mature investors to use it.
Yeah. Their lot size was, So now when we switched to this NSE platform, main NSE platform, we did it on 30th September 21. Now let me tell you, on 30th September 21, when we were on the SME platform, our family of shareholders was among 650 people on. Now in 6 months time, this has crossed 6,000. And every week we find that we are adding more to our numbers. So our share is getting spread to the many people.
What is the current price?
Current price is about 70 to 73.
Wow, almost double of what you listed at.
But we touch up to 112. And last 1 month, it was hovering around 90, 95, 6 along. And our March result was encouraging that we thought by calculation, this should touch about 125. But this all wars in night situation. And obviously, last 10 days, all the stock exchanges, Nasdaq, all are going down. So our share is also going down.
And what is the contribution from the project 1 and project 2? Like how much turnover from project 1?
For project 1 and project 2, I would say out of 348, project 1 will be about 120 crore and the balance is project. The project 2 is a high price project. Now, let me come and explain your question. That what was that open-end yarn and what is this now in yarn and what is the t-shirt and what is the jeans and all that. So the open-end yarn is, of course, a low-value yarn. Their process is also different than the ring yarn. And the cost of investment is also very high in the ring yarn, RING, ring, compared to the open end. So its process of manufacturing is little longer and needs much more bigger investment than the open end yarn. But as a beginner, you have to start with a small thing and then go on expanding. That is wiser planning. So now we are at this stage that our turnover is 348 crore this year. Our profit is very good. EPS is about 16. Everyone says that with the EPS of 16, if you take PE of 6-7, so still the price should be 125 to 150 technically, and by the ratio mechanism. But so now what we are doing for that these two plants are now established, no problem of any kind.
Project 2 is
Ring yarn plant.
And that ring yarn is used for what?
Basically, ring yarn is what we are doing, that about 60% of your ring yarn production is going for only for t-shirts. And we are exporting all this material. T-shirt, 100% we are exporting. And in addition to the t-shirt, this is also going for high quality of denim. So the 50% of production is supporting our product line of first unit, and 50% is going for the high value added like t-shirts and all. So our second plant is, as I told you, totally automation, a lot of robotic function. Everywhere you will find robotic function on the machine. Totally digitalized. But now we are planning for the third plant. So third is also again ring spinning, but we are going a step ahead where we are going on some more finer quality of yarn, which we use for the high quality of t-shirt now. T-shirt also, you will get it 1,000 rupees, 3,000 rupees, 10,000 rupees. Okay. So now we are going in a much richer or the much high quality of t-shirt where it is ring yarn, but it is called ring yarn by compact ring yarn. So now this we are now doing again 42,000 spindles at the total project cost of 218 crore. It's a big project now. Like 31 was also a big project when I started the first project, and I would say that it was more difficult for me at that time to mobilize the small funds than now today. So now we are expanding this one at the cost of 218 crores. Out of which again we are going for term loan from banks of 163 crores, and we'll put from our own sources about 55 crores.
But how will you get 55 crores? Like you have that accruals or?
We have that accrual. Like, last year, like this 22, 23rd, we made a huge profit. So this project will take 2 years further for implementation. Whatever we will earn further in 2 years, that funds will also be available for this project. Out of 55 crores, We have already spent about 10 crores. Because nowadays the machine deliveries are a very, very big question. So for the delivery time is about 2 years. So given advance, we have placed firm orders for all 10 plant and machinery.
Where are these machines coming from? Are they coming from China?
They are from Germany, they are from Switzerland, they are from Spain. What is there? Some of them are directly shipped from there, and some of companies they have made there here a 100% subsidiary company, and they are getting here in the knockdown condition and then dispatching it. But they are all more or less European companies because they are the best technology. Our motto always would be that one should never think in spending on technology. Now, let me also mention one thing. You put a question, how we made profit from the first year, how is that we have been continuously making taxable profit. We have never made taxable loss in any year. Our CAGR of exports turnover of last 6 years is 95%.
Because of the investment in austerization.
So in last 6 years, our export jumped from 7 crores to 201 crore. And if we see the average annual CAG, it comes to over 95%. So what we did, when we installed this lab in our plant, they also give you a authorized certificate. That you have the proper system, you have the proper blah, blah, whatever it is, and the equipment also. So they have done our audit, their team comes, they do all. They have given so far authorization certificate in India to only 22 companies. And I feel happy to say that we are one of that 22 companies.
And that brings us to the end of this conversation. I want to ask you for a favor now. Did you like listening to this show? I'd love to hear your feedback about it. Do you have your own startup ideas? I'd love to hear them. Do you have questions for any of the guests that you heard about in this show? I'd love to get your questions and pass them on to the guests. Write to me at ad@thepodium.in. That's ad@thepodium.in.